up, guys? Ed here. We got a video for you today. We are getting into our first official SARM in-depth review. We have been going over all different kinds of supplements. Today, we are getting into the big boy stuff. We are starting off with the first SARM OSTARINE MK-2866. We're going to be diving into it. I'm going to tell you what it is, how it works, what are the benefits for bodybuilding, are there any side effects? I'm going to give you the rundown on dosage, timing, do you need to cycle it, and maybe we'll check out a couple studies. So we are getting into it. First, I want to start off by saying SARMs are a drug. This is not no baby shit, okay? This is the big deal. So if you're gonna get into this stuff, you better do your research. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to present you with a lot of information so you can make good choices. That being said, I have not tried OSTARINE yet. I just have done a lot of research, so I know a good bit about it. I've tried many different SARMs, but not this one. So just wanted to preface by saying that, and now let's get into it. So, OSTARINE, what exactly is it? Well, it's a SARM. For those of you that don't know, a SARM is a selective androgen receptor modulator. What exactly does that mean? Well, in your body you have testosterone, and if you administer testosterone or its derivatives, steroids, from the outside, you put them into your body, they will bind to androgen receptors. So, SARMs will bind to androgen receptors in the similar way that testosterone and its derivatives, aka other steroids, would do, except SARMs do so in a tissue-selective fashion. So, where steroids will kind of bind to all different tissue in your body, they're going to bind to muscle tissue, they're going to bind to other tissues, organs, they're going to affect your prostate. SARMs will only selectively bind to muscle and bone tissue. This is good because we can avoid all of the other nonsense and damage that goes on to other organs and tissue in the body because we're being selective in what we bind to with SARMs, which is great. So OSTARINE was actually developed to combat muscle wasting diseases, bone density diseases. This is great. It's proven to work, and athletes have caught on to this, and they've started taking it to get some muscle gain, to get a little performance edge over the competition. So there's a lot of benefits we're gonna talk about for OSTARINE. This is more of an introductory SARM. It's not the most potent one out there, but it still is very effective. It will get the job done. You will see results surely from this, and it is not one to mess around with. If you're gonna do it, you gotta take it seriously. Let's get into what kind of benefits does OSTARINE offer in the bodybuilding world. Well, if we're into bodybuilding, I always want to start off say that you should be maxing out your natural potential first. Meaning get in the gym for a couple years, lock in your workout, lock in your diet, get everything honed in, get as much muscle and as little fat as you can before starting any SARMs, steroids, etc. Okay? That being said, what are the benefits that OSTARINE can offer to us? Well, it's going to improve our muscle mass. We're going to be able to gain muscle beyond our natural limit. Everybody's body is only going to hold so much. Taking OSTARINE is going to help us to go beyond that natural limit, which is great. It's going to help us to reduce body fat as well. It's going to aid in recovery. It'll help us to recover quicker. We'll be able to work out more frequently, get in more workouts, more gains. That's how we get huge. Love that. There is some controversy on whether it will help or hurt your cholesterol. Some studies say that it will improve your cholesterol. There are other studies that say that it will decrease your HDL, which is your good cholesterol. So take from that what you will. Do some more research on that. I mean, I look at all different kinds of stuff, and there's conflicting evidence here. So there is that. OSTARINE is also going to help with joints. It's going to help to increase your tendon strength. It's going to help to kind of get those joints, your ligaments, your tendons stronger. You're gonna feel better, and your joints just aren't gonna be as achy. So that's a good positive. Like I said before, OSTARINE is a SARM. It's going to be more tissue selective, so it's not going to bind to, say, other tissue in the body like your prostate, where steroids would normally affect that. OSTARINE is going to stick to muscle and bone, so that's great. It's going to create good anabolic effects. You're going to avoid the androgenic effects. So guys, if you're taking this, you're going to avoid the gyno, you're going to avoid the hair loss, the acne. Women, if you're looking to take this, you're going to avoid the deep voice, you know, you're going to avoid getting masculine features, which is great. This is going to have good anabolic effects and not so many androgenic effects, which are the bad things that come with steroids. Awesome. That being said, it's not perfect. So there are going to be some side effects. So OSTARINE is going to lead to mild suppression. As with any SARM steroid out there, you are going to get suppression of your natural testosterone when you take these things. OSTARINE, thankfully, is very mild. You're not going to get serious suppression. You might not even notice that you're being suppressed. Which is good. So the other thing that we need to watch out for is liver toxicity. As with any oral compound, SARM or steroid, it's got to pass through the liver when you take it orally. It's going to cause some damage to your liver, which, I mean, you can't avoid unless you want to, you know, just hop into the big boy gear and start shooting needles into your ass. So you could do that. I don't know. Do what you want to do. Let's look at dosage, timing, and cycle length. Typically, a cycle of OSTARINE is going to last from 6 to 12 weeks, 6 weeks being on the shorter end, 12 weeks being a little bit on the longer end. I think your sweet spot is going to be in the 8 to 10 week range. I would recommend starting off, keep it a little bit shorter, probably 8 weeks. Try it out for 8 weeks. See how you like it. How much are we going to take? Well, I like to start low. Typical dosage is going to be anywhere from 10 to about 30 milligrams on the very, very high end. So 10 to 30 milligrams a day. I would say don't really go past that 25 to 30 milligram mark. Start with 10. If you don't like it, maybe next time you try out OSTARINE, go to 15. Maybe next time you try it out, go to 20. But I would always start low, and then we can increase it from there. OSTARINE has a half-life of 24 hours, meaning that it will take 24 hours to OSTARINE to half its concentration in your body. So if you take 25 milligrams in 24 hours, that's going to go to 12 and a half. And then 24 hours from now, you're going to be down to 6.75 milligrams. And then 24 hours from then, you're going to be at 3.7 or whatever it is, all right? So the half-life is the time that it takes to half the concentration in your body. Why do we look at half-life? Well, that's how frequently we want to dose it. So since OSTARINE has a relatively kind of longish half-life for an oral compound, you can dose it once per day and you'll be fine. As always, I say split it up. If you want to, it will just make the concentration in your body more stable. So instead of going from here and then throughout the day, the concentration is going to drop and then back up the next day. If you take it twice a day, you split it up, it's going to be more even in those fluctuations, which is better all around. OSTARINE, PCT, do we need it? Well, it depends how much you take for how long. The higher the dose, the longer you take it, you're going to need more serious PCT. So this is why I recommend start short, start low. So start with 10 to 15 milligrams, 8 weeks, maybe push it to 10 if you want, but I wouldn't go much longer than that. As far as PCT, if you want to be very, very safe, on the safe side, you can go with a full-blown PCT, take your Nova. You only need to take it for 2 weeks after stopping use of OSTARINE, and you should start the day after you stop. meaning I stop on this day, I'm taking my PCT the very next day for 2 weeks. If you're gonna take Nova, 20 milligrams a day for 2 weeks should be plenty. If you're not taking a whole lot of this stuff, I mean, like I said, 10 to 15 milligrams for 8 weeks, you probably don't need a serious full Nova PCT. You can go with an off-the-shelf, over-the-counter, your supplement store is gonna have just some random PCT, maybe a natural testosterone booster just to get your levels back up to where they should be a little bit quicker. So that's always an option if you don't want to do the full Nova route. There are studies that say OSTARINE is effective in small doses. One study we're looking at over a 3-month period, taking 3 milligrams per day. 3 milligrams. Remember, typical dose is 10 to, I would say, 25. 3 milligrams per day over 3 months resulted in an increased body mass gain of 1.4 kilograms. That's 1.4 kilograms of lean body mass. So you're looking at 3 pounds of muscle gain just from taking this stuff in a small amount. It works. This stuff actually works. So when you're lifting, when you're dieting properly, you can probably see bigger gains than that. All right. So there is a brief little overview of OSTARINE. There are its benefits, its side effects, its dosage, cycle length, all of that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me, but as always, do your own research. Look into this stuff extensively before you get into it. That's all I got for you. All right, there's OSTARINE in a nutshell. Boom, information. There you go. You're welcome. Bye-bye.